SAE has been around for a long time.
Okay.
It started originally as the School of Audio Engineering. That's where the SAE comes from, the School of Audio Engineering. In 1976, it was launched. And over time, it has grown to be the world's largest network of higher education institutions that focuses on creative media programs. Your portfolio is the most valuable commodity that you can have. For me, the passion for the creative industries comes from the passion that I have for people that look and see the world slightly different from the norm. The creatives out there.
Of course. The first question that I want to ask is, why is it called SAE University College? Is that an Australian thing?
Yeah, it's an Australian thing. So in Australia, first of all, SAE has been around for a long time.
Okay.
It started originally as the School of Audio Engineering. That's where the SAE comes from, the School of Audio Engineering. In 1976, it was launched and started as a specialized institute that mainly focused on audio engineering programs in Australia. And over time, it has grown to be the world's largest network of higher education institutions that focuses on creative media programs. So where it started off as SAE, School of Audio Engineering, it is now focusing on all the creative media programs like animation and game development, game design, film production, audio engineering, design, all of these kind of elements. Okay. So that's where it started. In Australia, where it originated from, we are accredited by the Australian Higher Education Authority, TEXA. And within TEXA, they've got different higher education classifications, basically. You can be an institute that offers bachelor's degrees, but you're not necessarily an institute that is focused on research output. You're very specialized. That would mean you're classified as an institute. Then the next level would be a university college, which is what SAE is, which means you've got a very good balance between practical, hands-on, industry-related kind of programs, but also there's a good balance of research output that comes from faculty. And then you've got the university status, which is a university produces a lot of research, master's, PhD programs, and those kind of things.
Okay, interesting.
Which we don't do because if you think about it, the programs that we focus on are creative media programs, right?
Yeah.
Where do you find somebody with a PhD in animation? It's not really relevant in the industry. If you're going into creative media, like you guys know, your portfolio is the most valuable commodity that you can have.
Absolutely.
It's about what you can do, not necessarily the research that you have done. So that's where the difference comes in. But in Dubai, SAE has been here since 2005. So we're coming up to our
20 years.
20 years very soon. Yeah. So it's been a long and very fruitful, very rewarding journey for SAE here in Dubai. Yeah.
Great, great. How did you come into this picture? How did you reach SAE?
Wow. Okay. So I've been in education my whole life. I started my career as a teacher 30 years ago.
Okay.
I was a teacher. I studied to be a teacher. I was very fortunate to become a principal of a school at quite a young age. Probably a little bit too young, if I think back on it now. I was probably not really as experienced as I needed to be able to have that level of leadership and authority. But it was a very good learning and developmental experience for me. I then decided, after having been a principal for a couple of years, I want to go and do my own thing. I want to work as a private consultant in the education space in South Africa, which is where my home country is. Okay. And then I did that for a couple of years. I then started doing a consultancy project for a private higher education institution in South Africa, a private university, and eventually ended up becoming part of their team on a full-time basis. And I ended up managing one of their campuses in Cape Town. And within that same group, there was another higher education institution that focused mainly on creative media programs, creative programs. Okay. And I eventually joined them. And it was a fantastic, rewarding experience. I loved it. I ran their campus in Cape Town, South Africa, where I'm from. Eventually ended up overseeing the campuses on a national basis as well. And at that point, my wife and I started talking about maybe we should look for some international experience, want to see if we can step outside of South Africa. And I updated my LinkedIn profile and got a call from an agency in Dubai. Okay. And they offered me a position as the operations director for a school group.
Okay.
Which is a bit different to what I was doing at the time.
Yeah.
But it was an opportunity within education, and it was an opportunity to move to probably the most competitive environment in the world, Dubai. Yeah. Cutting edge, new technology, the future, the whole vision of Dubai and what they've done since the development of this amazing city. And so immediately I said, yeah, I think I'll give this a go. So I joined that group in December. It was the day after National Day, actually on National Day, 2nd of December, 2018, I joined them. I was with them for about just over 2 years. And then another agency contacted me, having heard that my experience in South Africa was within the creative media space, education space, and the opportunity at SAE had become available. And would I be interested in joining them? And I grabbed the opportunity. It was like going back home, to a place that I knew very well. The creative industries, the creative education sector is something that I find absolutely fascinating. So it was like going home for me. And I joined them in October 2020. And I've been there ever since.
And how has it been for you as a CEO? What all transformations have happened since you have come through?
Yeah, it was interesting. If you remember back, October 2020 was slap bang in the middle of the most difficult time that we've experienced on a global scale in recent years, right in the middle of COVID. True. So I joined SAE at probably the most difficult time that you could join any business, right in the middle of the most challenging time. Many of our students are international students. We had to transition from face-to-face, practical, hands-on approach to education to doing things on a remote basis, virtually, and we were able to do that. And since then, our focus has been to build the campus and the students' number up to exceed where we were pre-COVID. And we were successful in achieving that, and it's been a fantastic journey. But it's more about, for me, the passion for the creative industries comes from the passion that I have for people that look and see the world slightly different from the norm. You know, the creatives out there.
Of course.
The people that look at something and they say, well, there must be a better way of doing this. The people that try and find solutions to problems, that people that try and tell stories. And I believe that the UAE, the Middle East region, is currently a very strong growth point for the creative industries, that it is the creative economy provides huge opportunity for people with that kind of mindset. And there's huge opportunity for them to step into an industry that's growing, you know, where a lot of other industries are under pressure economically.
Yeah.
This industry is something that's growing. To find the talent, to develop the talent, and then guide them through to finding an opportunity in that creative economy is my reward. It's the thing that I love seeing happening. And this is what SAE really has been focusing on over the last 3-4 years that I've been, even before, but specifically now, as I can say, from, you know, since I've been involved.
Okay.
It's not just focusing on SAE as an institute, as a well-respected higher education institution, but really building the industry through collaboration, through networking, through creating opportunities in the, you know, the as the industry develops,
Right.
as there's more awareness about the opportunities that exist within the creative economy for creative minded people, it eventually benefits everybody, including us, who plays the role as the developers of the talent, you know. So that's really what it's about for us, is to become that hub, that voice that educates and informs people about what it really means to be a creative, to be able to be part of a creative economy, to be able to build a career, a profession out of something that most people see as a hobby. And to be able to build that awareness is really what drives us.
And I believe they're also incentivizing it because the golden visa is offered to a certain professions where it includes the courses that you offer, the degrees that you provide.
Absolutely. I mean, the vision and all the credit has to go to the leadership of this amazing country, where, you know, when you build an ecosystem and you want to attract the best talent into an ecosystem, and when you start shifting your economy from the traditional product or services based economy to something that is focused on the creative skills, something that is out of the ordinary for the Middle East.
Yeah.
It's not something that usually would get a lot of attention here. You know, more so here than in other countries. You know, you would find that there's the big 4 or 5 career paths that are always pursued: law, engineering, finance, business, medicine, you know, those ones.
Yeah.
All fantastic, great, amazing careers. But the focus on the creative careers are sometimes not as well known. So the visionary leaders of this country had seen the potential that the creative economy can bring, and they've decided to invest in it by developing creative zones, creative opportunities, creative investing in the economy, and then also by providing golden visa opportunities for people with these skills to attract talent to settle here in the region. And that's fantastic. You know, that's what you want to see. It's not just about establishing business and investment, but it's about developing an ecosystem that supports everything from education to business, to making it possible for people to settle here. So all of that really contributes to it. So yeah, that's exciting.
How many graduates are there now? Like, since you started to now, how many graduates, or every year, how many students enroll?
We're a very specialized institute.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, and we're a small institute compared to many other universities because we don't offer the wide range of programs that everybody offers.
Yes.
No,
You specialize in creative media.
that's it. That's it. Anybody that comes to SAE who's not passionate about creative media is at the wrong place.
Yeah, got
Right.
it.
So
You've been very clear about that.
we're clear about this. So we take in probably between 200 to 220 to 250 new students every year.
Okay.
All right. We graduate probably about 150 to 200 students a year as well. So our numbers are gradually growing as the industry grows and as the demand for skills grows and as the interest and awareness of the programs grow, which is fantastic. But we will never be an institute here that has got 4,000 students. That's not us. We are for those people that are different from the masses.
Yeah.
People with a very specialized interest and skill. And we're proud of that. We're proud that we are different.
And how profitable is SAE Dubai?
Look, our profit or reward comes from the number of students that we graduate. The number of students that we are able to put in the industry that are able to find employment in the industry that they are passionate about. That really is where the reward lies for us, to create a pathway towards employment. And rather than measuring our success on a financial success in the bottom line, we would rather measure our success on the pathway of students that study with us, that they are then able to find employment in the industry that they have studied.
Right.
And that to us is the most important thing. And it's something that we put a lot of emphasis on, to make sure that our students are supported in being able to find a job. When you graduate from a university, at most universities, you know that you're at least going to have a piece of paper that says you've done a bachelor's degree in a certain field, right? Everybody gets that piece of paper. At SAE, because our programs are so practical, hands-on, project-based, and you work in studios like this.
Yeah.
If you come to SAE, you will see setups like this.
Yeah.
Our students practically do what they would do when they're in industry. So they don't only graduate with a internationally recognized certificate bachelor's degree, but they also have a really, really strong portfolio, which makes them very employable. And that to us is really the value of what we do. That's what we measure.
Okay. Got it. With the courses that you offer, how does it vary from, like, which ones weigh heavier? For instance, animation. Are there more students that enroll for animation compared to audio or video?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's a very interesting question because it also depends on what is the flavor of the month in the industry. So currently, we're seeing a lot of demand in animation. It's probably right now the program where we have the highest number of students, because it's such a transferable skill, right? You can animation is used in so many different areas in industry, so it's a skill that's in high demand. If we go back a couple of years ago, audio engineering was not as popular. Now it's coming back and it's growing again. Graphic design is always in demand. It's graphic design and visual communication is probably the qualification and the skill that you could use in the widest variety of industries, because everybody needs a designer to be able to communicate their brand and their service. And you could do that on a freelance basis. In fact, all of our programs, our students, once they graduate, many of them work on a freelance basis, which means they can take clients from all over the world and produce solutions for them.
Okay.
Film production is always popular because the film industry in the Middle East is starting to really grow.
Yes, they are
Content
emerging.
creation, social media content creation, and the ability to not only film something and create content, but doing it in a way that tells a compelling story has become an absolute necessity for all business.
Do you also teach digital marketing?
So digital marketing, social media content creation, and how those two things interact in order to communicate a brand story is what is so important in the industry these days. You know, people that specialize in the creative industries, they only do two things. If you're a creator, they solve problems and they tell stories. Those are the two things that people actually buy from you. The medium, how you do that, might differ. You could do that through a game that you've developed or gamification. You can do it through an animation. You can do it through through film, through a content that you've created. You can do that through a piece of music, or you can do it through graphic design or visual communication. But at the end of the day, you're solving a problem for your client and you're telling a story. That's what you do. You guys do that every single day with your clients. If you're doing a wedding, the brief that you would receive is from a couple who wants you to solve the problem of how will we tell our story and our union and our very special relationship to the rest of the world. And you will solve that problem and you will tell their story. And they will pay you good money for that product. And that is what the creative industries is all about. Being able to solve problems and to tell stories for people.
How does it work when, like, media production companies like us, where we do certain things in-house, but let's say we don't do animation? If we would need the guidance and expertise of SAE students, do we have to approach you, or is there a way you synergize and collaborate with companies like us?
Yeah, so all of our students, every single one of them, has to complete an internship before they can graduate.
Okay.
So through that program, we are able to provide students with the opportunity to do an internship with companies like yourselves, for example, and then they can work on a specific brief, or they can maybe spend a period of time completing that internship, and then they contribute in that way.
So this is in their final year.
This is usually in their final year. But we collaborate with companies all the time. And if they require skills, we can put them in contact with our graduates. We can sometimes have them come up with a specific brief that the students can then use as a project brief for them to work on while they, as part of their studies. So there's many different ways for us to be able to collaborate with industry. Our students are very fortunate in the fact that the kind of equipment and setups and studios that we have on campus is representative of what you would find in industry. So when they go into industry and they get given a brief or a project to work on, they know exactly what to do. They can start.
Because they have that kind of practical skill set knowledge.
They've done it. They've got the practical skills and knowledge to be able to do that.
So do you use that space on the campus for not just school-based projects, but also any real projects? Like if we had to give a project, would that something that would be executed at the SAE campus by the students? Is that like a service you offer?
No, currently not. And I'll tell you why. Our students are very busy. They have a lot of projects because the way that they work is within the 5 or 6 different disciplines that the students work in, of the different bachelor's degree programs, they work on projects on a cross-disciplinary basis. So you'll have a film student working with an animation student, working with an audio student, working with a game design student on a project. So there's a multidisciplinary, multi-skilled team that produces a specific project.
Even though they're majoring in different
In
courses,
different,
but they work together on it.
and of course, across the number of students that we have, they are using the studios that we have a lot.
Oh, got it.
So those studios are practically booked out and filled with students, from early in the morning until late in the afternoon when they leave campus. There are some times during maybe holiday breaks when the students are not on campus, where if industry partners would want to use some of the facilities if they're available, that we then will collaborate with them and say, yeah, it's fine, the studio is not being used right now, we can do a project together. But that would only be during the time when the students are not actually practically on campus. It would be during their holiday breaks.
Can you shed some light on the whole scholarship program that you have? There's something that you have been pushing, the 35 up to 35,000 scholarships. What is that exactly? How do
Yeah.
they qualify for that?
Yeah, so yes, you're correct. Students can actually qualify for up to 35,000 dirham scholarship. So there's various ways that we try and support students who are really talented and passionate about their creative skills and their creative talents. We have various categories of scholarships that we offer. The one that you're mentioning that can give you a scholarship of up to 35,000 is depending on your academic results. If you've achieved certain level of academic results at school, you apply for the scholarships and you can qualify up to 35,000. So that's available.
Okay.
We also have various options when it comes to payment plans to make it, affordable for people. We do not want to have anybody that cannot pursue their passion in the creative industries because of financial issues. So every case we see as an individual case, we try and support as best as we can. And the benefit that people get when they come and study at SAE is you don't only get a qualification, but you get that practical hands-on application of your skills and the portfolio. And the fact that SAE is the #1 creative media institute in the world, really, recognized all over the globe, with about 47 campuses in 23 countries. So, there's a lot of value that comes with the time that you spend at SAE. So yes, we offer many different scholarships, not only for new students, but also for students that are studying with us. So we have, for example, portfolio scholarships. We have opportunities for students to work as interns at SAE and then reduce their tuition fees. So there's various different things that we apply. But like I said, every case comes with its own merit, and we consider them all.
You mentioned 23 countries. Is there an SE in Saudi?
Interesting, no. Currently, there is no SAE campus in Saudi. There is one in Amman, in Jordan. I have been contacted by various people from Saudi that have said, look, we want you. You should establish a campus here. But unfortunately, that's not my decision. That would depend on SAU Australia, the mother campus, and also, if for them to decide.
Okay. Um, is it safe to say that SAE is one of the quickest degree? It takes 2 years?
No. So, first of all, remember that SAE offers a bachelor's degree.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a full bachelor's degree.
Which is what, 3 years?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's a minimum of 3 years. There used to be within SAE in the past what was called an accelerated pathway, where students can do more than the standard number of units per trimester, and then they would complete their degree in about just under 3 years, about 2.5 years, or about 2 years and 8 months. So technically that is possible. There are very few students that actually do that. They normally follow the standard pathway of about 3 years. Um, so the majority of our students would follow the 3-year pathway.
Okay. All right. With AI everywhere, is there a way SAE is integrating that in any of your courses? What are your plans?
It's absolutely unavoidable. You know, first of all, AI is available to everybody. It's there to be used. And currently, all higher education institutions are grappling with the question of how much of AI is acceptable for students to use as part of their project work. Um, it's unavoidable to have AI as part of the creative process for creative students because they come already integrated into the software that they use. If you think of design software, whether it is Photoshop or InDesign, the AI plugins are already there, right? The AI plugins are already available within Google, within Meta. They're there. So it's not a question of how do we integrate them. They're already integrated. It's all a matter of making sure that people are properly trained in how to use them. I get the question sometimes, and it's a good question where people ask, will AI replace our jobs as creatives? My answer is AI will replace the jobs of people who don't know how to use AI. So as a creative, if you don't know how to effectively use AI in your design process, somebody else is going to figure it out. They will be able to deliver on a project faster and at a lower price point than you can, and clients will gravitate towards them. So you have to adapt, and you have to know how to integrate AI in your design process, and you will be set.
You also offer short courses like corporate courses or workshops. What are those like?
Yeah. So it's actually a huge and growing part of our business.
Okay.
Um, you know, a lot of people work in the industry that might have qualified in a creative discipline 3, 4, 5 years ago. But the industry changes so quickly. Technology changes so quickly that the skills and the technology that you worked with 2 years ago is completely different now compared to what it was then. So people need to upskill all the time. So yes, we do a lot of short courses, which is upskilling courses, where people want to maybe develop a specific skill, whether it is in content creation, whether it is in AI, the integration of AI, maybe into HR or finance or marketing, whether it is digital marketing skills, whether it is video production, whatever it is. Those courses usually run on a public schedule where you can join a class that runs every month. There's a schedule of classes. Okay, so they vary in duration, usually between 4 to 8 weeks, with classes running in the evenings and maybe over a weekend. Then we also have our corporate training, where we do custom-made corporate training programs specifically for private and for public sector clients, government agencies, government departments, corporate companies that then would like to upskill a department maybe, or they want to develop a new creative department within the company. And then we will put a program together specifically for them. It's custom made specifically to their needs, and we will then deliver it either at SAE or at their venue or a venue of their choice. It's become probably the fastest growing portion of our business right now, because there is such a demand for creative skills that is being fueled by the growing creative economy within the UAE. So we're very proud of the fact that we can then put forward solutions and training programs for these corporate and private clients.
That's great. And how many days are these usually?
It depends on the needs of the client, right? Sometimes it would be a 2-day program. Sometimes it would be a program that stretches over months. We currently busy finalizing a program for a leading government agency here in the UAE, which will stretch over about 3 months, and training a group of people from them. So it all depends on the needs. Sometimes it's 2 days, sometimes it's a week, sometimes it can be a month and even longer.
And is there a specific kind of course or a topic that they are interested in that's the most popular across different industries?
The kind of trends that are happening right now in the industry, the things that are very popular, digital marketing, social media content creation, video editing, and then of course AI specifically for application in specific sectors. Like for example, how to use AI in marketing, how to use AI in finance, how to use AI in HR. And then of course, virtual reality, augmented reality, and the more virtual reality kind of programs, and augmented reality, those are always popular. The metaverse, understanding the metaverse and how that can be applied in business as well. So those are the kind of programs that are very popular at the moment. I would say probably led by the digital marketing one, content creation, video editing, and then AI. Absolutely. AI is starting to overtake everybody.
We're looking for candidates. We are hiring for digital social media. Please help us out. We could perhaps have some of your graduates.
You just let me know what it is, the skills that you guys need. We have a graduate placement program. Like I said, we have all of our students need to do an internship. And the more connections we can build in industry to help our students to be able to find those opportunities, we will always be.
Yeah, I mean, with the SAE credibility and the skill set and the knowledge that you provide, ideally this would be the easiest fit for a company like us to have someone from SAE. The openings that we have is, I know I'm going a bit off topic, is digital marketing, social media. We're looking for a video editor. These are the 3 top. And then, I'm not sure how you have someone specific for AI, how they integrate that, but animators are something we're looking for as
Yeah, we have all of those skills.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely, we will be able to help you with it.
Great. Lastly, and what is 2025 vision for SAE Dubai?
Look, our vision is linked to the vision of the UAE.
Okay.
The vision of the UAE is to grow and to develop the creative media sector and the creative economy. Our vision is linked to that. Our vision is to be the #1 trusted higher education institution in the region that builds the pathway for talent towards the creative media industry. That's our vision. To be recognized as the number one destination for anybody that is interested in joining the creative economy. And that's the role that we want to play. Supporting not only students that want to take and follow that pathway, but also supporting the development of talent within the industry for private and for public sector. That's what we want to do. We want people to know that SAE is top of mind. If anybody thinks about creative media, creative industry, the creative economy, SAE should be the top of mind destination for anybody to go. That's the role that we want to play. That's the vision that we have, which is linked to the vision of the UAE of developing and creating the creative economy.
That said, you sound like the right man at the right role, in the right place, with the right vision.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jan. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's very kind of you, and thank you for the opportunity.